You know that feeling when you finally find a perfect parking spot after circling for 10 minutes, and then you see it. One massive SUV sitting diagonally across two prime spaces like the rules don't apply to them. That's exactly what we saw that evening. And in that moment, something inside me shifted. Not rage, not chaos, just a calm, petty idea forming like a quiet storm. He thought he owned the parking lot. He didn't realize he had just volunteered to be tonight's entertainment. If you've ever been personally offended by someone's parking job, this one is for you. Hit like, subscribe, and get comfortable because sometimes justice doesn't require shouting, just patience and a very small car. This happened years ago when I was 26 and working my first real corporate job in downtown Denver. My co-worker and close friend, Marissa, and I had a tradition of unwinding at Cherry Creek Mall on Fridays after work. Nothing fancy, just walking around, grabbing coffee, decompressing from spreadsheets and office politics. That day had been particularly draining. My boss had spent the entire afternoon nitpicking a presentation I'd already revised 3 times. My shoulders were tight, my jaw clenched, and I just wanted something simple to go right, like finding a decent parking spot. The lot was packed. Friday evening crowd. Families, teenagers, couples. We circled twice before spotting 2 front row spaces near the entrance. Or at least what should have been 2 spaces. Instead, there was a glossy black lifted Jeep Wrangler, chrome rims gleaming, parked perfectly centered over the line. Not slightly over. Not accidentally crooked. Intentionally straddling both spots like it was posing for a dominance photo shoot. I slowed the car and just stared. Marissa blinked. Is he serious? The lines were clearly visible beneath the tires. This wasn't bad parking. This was a statement. Something about it hit differently that day. Maybe it was the long week. Maybe it was the arrogance radiating from that Jeep. But I felt that familiar frustration rise in my chest. The small but powerful sting of being inconvenienced by someone who simply doesn't care about anyone else. He had taken 2 premium spots in a crowded lot because he could, and everyone else just had to deal with it. I exhaled slowly. I have an idea. Marissa turned toward me slowly, already smiling because she knew that tone. Now here's the thing. I drove a tiny silver Honda Fit, the kind of car that could practically park inside a coat closet. I pulled up slowly to the left of the Jeep. There was technically enough space within the lines for 1 car. Tight, but legal. I adjusted carefully, inch by inch. My mirrors folded in. I centered myself perfectly inside the lines. When I turned off the engine, there were maybe 3 inches between my passenger door and his driver door, close enough that opening it normally would be impossible. Marissa covered her mouth, trying not to laugh. You didn't. Oh, I did. But here's where it gets better. We had time. We weren't in a rush. So instead of walking inside, I grabbed my purse, locked my car, and hopped into Marissa's sedan parked several rows away. We positioned ourselves with a clear view of the Jeep. We waited. At first it felt silly. Petty. Harmless fun. Worst case scenario. He crawls in from the passenger side and drives off slightly annoyed. Mild inconvenience for extreme entitlement. Fair trade. Then something unexpected happened. A pickup truck rolled slowly into the lot. The driver paused when he saw my car hugging the Jeep's driver's side. He looked at the right side of the Jeep, then at me, and then, without a word, he carefully parked on the Jeep's passenger side, perfectly inside his lines. Equally tight. Marissa gasped. No way. Now the Jeep was boxing on both sides. The only accessible entry point left was the rear hatch. We looked at each other and completely lost it, trying to stifle laughter. It was no longer just our petty moment. It was community justice. A silent alliance between strangers who were equally tired of selfish behavior. 10 minutes later, the owners appeared. He was exactly what you'd expect. Tall, muscular, shaved head, tank top that showed off gym dedication. His girlfriend trailed beside him in high heels and a bright pink skirt, carrying shopping bags. They approached the Jeep confidently, then stopped. He blinked once, twice, walked to the left, stared at my tiny car, hugging his door, walked to the right, saw the pickup inches from the passenger side. His arms shot out in disbelief. Are you kidding me? They circled the Jeep like confused NPCs in a video game glitch. He tried the driver door. It barely moved an inch. He tried the passenger side. Same story. The girlfriend crossed her arms. What are we supposed to do? He muttered something under his breath and paced. You could see the realization dawning slowly. This wasn't random. This was cause and effect. He looked around a lot, scanning for witnesses, probably hoping someone would magically move. No one did. Finally, after several dramatic sighs, he popped open the back hatch. There was a moment of hesitation. Then he turned to his girlfriend. You're smaller. Just crawl through and unlock it. Marissa squeezed my arm so hard it hurt. The girlfriend stared at him. Seriously? He shrugged, clearly unwilling to climb it himself. After a brief argument we couldn't hear but could definitely read from body language, she reluctantly set down her bags and awkwardly climbed into back of the Jeep. He stood outside, arms crossed, watching. It took her a solid minute to maneuver between seats and heels. The entire time, the parking lot moved normally around them, life continuing, justice unfolding quietly. Finally, the Jeep engine started. She reversed out carefully. He jumped in once there was space. As they drove past our row, he glanced around suspiciously. Our eyes met for half a second. I didn't smirk. I didn't wave. I simply looked back calmly. The feeling wasn't explosive. It wasn't dramatic revenge music playing in my head. It was something quieter. Balance. He had taken more space than he deserved. The universe, with little assistance, had adjusted the equation. And the best part? We hadn't broken a single rule. Both cars were legally parked. Inside the lines. Respectful. The only disrespect in that entire scenario had been his original choice. Sometimes revenge isn't about destruction. It's about reflection. You hold up a mirror and let someone experience the inconvenience they casually handed to others. That evening reminded me of something simple. Entitlement thrives when no one challenges it. Even small act of accountability can feel powerful. And honestly, 10 out of 10, worth the wait. If this story made you laugh or brought back memories of your own parking lot frustrations, hit that like button. Tell me in the comments what's the pettiest but most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories where everyday moments turn into unforgettable karma.